I just wanted to say that we had a technical issue with episode 9, and it didn't come out. So that's now up, and also from now on, we're on Spotify. So if you ever have technical issues with Apple Podcasts, which is extremely fickle, we're on Spotify now. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Libsyn. You can search us in Google, and we come up. You can play episodes from Google Play. We're every fucking where now. So that's just a heads up for technical stuff. If you want to catch up on any episodes you had trouble downloading. So what's new with you then, Rathy?
Well, I've gotten too I've gotten too comfortable with showing doctors my dick. I think, like,
Right.
I've just got, like, I'm too comfortable doing it. Like, I can do it just so nonchalantly.
Because you've had so many STI checks, you just come in and you're just like, you're just perfectly comfortable with your dick out and go, is this weird? This redness here?
Oh, even not in the office, just like on public transport, or like I'll see a guy in scrubs and I'll be like, hey man, have you seen this before? Is this in the
I'm sure that's what frontline workers want right now, is a disheveled redhead who looks homeless getting on public transport and pulling his dick out after a long day of trying to help prevent the spread of a pandemic.
Yeah, I was actually more adapted or more ready for the pandemic, like, because I feel like people's hypochondria came out because of it. Like it was a new thing for them. You know, they're like, whoa, what is it? It's like being worried you have a disease. Oh, like for the first time.
Mm. But
whereas for me, it's just
another day.
It's a rotating. It's a sushi train of death and entropy. Just brain tumor, one day, MS, heart palpitations. You know, MS, multiple.
Yeah, no, I know it. Yeah, I didn't think of that as it would be on your roster. That's all.
Oh, it features heavily on the roster. It's rostered in.
Right.
But yeah, I got an AIDS test.
Did you?
And yeah, because and that's kind of like, that's really, I guess I was wasting the doctor's time because I'm a virgin. But I just really wanted to see if it was possible to get it from respiratory. No, but yeah, I did actually get an AIDS test. And
yes.
And he said, he was like really casual afterwards, and he's like, yeah, if you have AIDS, I'll call you on Monday. And he goes, if you don't hear from me, that means it's all good.
That's too much for a neurotic. You can't just be like, if you have AIDS, I'll give you a ring on Monday. I'd be checking my voicemail.
You check your voicemail. Forget about enjoying the weekend as well. You're not gonna.
It's a big call.
You know, not when that's up in the balance.
You know what? Even if he doesn't call, I'm calling the office.
You're going to call the office?
I'm going to call the office and just go, hey, just double checking on that AIDS result.
He said no news is good news.
Yeah, that's not enough for a neurotic, I don't think.
So you think yeah.
It's too ambivalent. It's too ambiguous.
Do you think he gets an AIDS positive thing and then he goes, like, that's going to interrupt his lunch? Like, I don't think he'll be too indifferent by that.
You think there's a level of excitement?
That's why doctors, I find they are more excited. Like, I'm worried they're excited if they find something. You know what I mean? So they like find a new thing that's like, they're like, interesting. You know, when they're like, that's an interesting mole. Never seen that. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You've never seen it.
I know exactly.
You want them to be like, I've seen that. That's everything.
You're trying to talk him away.
Everyone's got that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that every time I get an STI check, they're always like trying to terrify you. Like they're trying
Right.
to get you into making sure that you wear contraception and stuff. They're always like, I remember one woman, she was like, "Oh yeah, no, AIDS is coming back. It's back big time. Yeah, it's you better be careful out there. AIDS is And she said, yeah, I've had 2 people in this week with AIDS, and I was like, really? Kind of blew me away. I was like, wow, really? Like, what were they doing? I mean, obviously they're having sex, but like, what were the circumstances for them to be getting AIDS in Australia? She said, oh, one guy had a sex tour of Thailand, and the other one was having sex with a bisexual a bisexual man who was a prostitute. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's the difference, isn't it? Like different lives.
Oh, right. Yeah. Their lives are quite exotic. They're doing a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, they're operating in different circles to me.
Because what was the one guy did what he did a Kentucky tour of Thailand. This guy.
He didn't. He did you can do a sex tour of Thailand. So he
Is
just.
that guided? Is that a guided tour, or is it just spontaneous kind of thing? I just imagine someone packing for a sex tour and just a lot of Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, a lot of Hawaiian shirts,
Like just a,
sandals,
yeah.
like shorts, maybe a ukulele.
Yeah, it's just a funny thing to be. Yeah, it's funny just to be like, yeah, I'm just packing tonight, going on a sex tour of Thailand tomorrow, so got to get
Just
a red eye.
going on tour.
Going on tour.
Back on tour again.
And there's no tour manager for that. But
No.
yeah, that's some high risk categories. You don't want a rare disease. You want you don't want one where they like call other doctors and they have an excited meeting about you.
Yeah, no, definitely
Because
right
they're definitely excited as well. They're not sympathetic with the tragedy of it, I feel.
No, they have to be distant emotionally. So for them, it's a technical extravaganza where they're like, whoa, this guy's got a weird growth on his dick that I've never seen before. And you're just sitting there going, fuck, man, I'm fucked. And they're like, wow. And they're like calling zooming other doctors going like, this is, stand up, Dan. Look at this. This is a different strand. We haven't seen.
This is he was infected with COVID in March and now the symptoms are still coming in different ways and you're going to be in a textbook.
Yeah. It's like when they used to show like
you're going to be
like
famous.
Herpes or whatever in textbooks and stuff. And you're like,
oh yeah,
that guy would have had to have agreed to have his dick photographed. Like it's so bad that they're like, we need to use you as an example of how bad it can be.
Yeah, I don't think he was sending that on Tinder or something.
You don't think he sent it in voluntarily to the medical associations? Hey guys, just look, this is what's going on with me right now, and I just figured it could be good in a science journal, in a scientific medical journal.
I've got a fever, so I can't come in, but
have a look at this.
What is this? Can you guys help me out? I just don't know what this is.
What seems this?
Like something's happening that's unprecedented.
This is unprecedented. Like if someone said something very interesting to me, which is that she said that her friends that met on dating apps, the relationships seems kind of forced because you can tell they're 2 people that would have never met in real life.
Right, yeah.
Which is a new phenomenon, I think.
Yeah, it feels like in the past, everyone made sense sort of in a weird way of like, oh, we're at the delicatessen, or they liked pastrami. I was cutting the meats, the cabanossis, and we started talking about meats.
Mm.
And then it kind of went from there. And like, because then the shared interest is like ascertained by the fact that they were both in the same area doing
I
the
will
same.
say that that is the strangest example to use.
Yeah. This is
They were cutting one person like pastrami and the other person was cutting the
this
pastrami.
is someone who's never met anyone.
Yeah, the example of someone who's never met anyone.
Yeah, I've never met anyone in real life or in the digital realm. I'm just imagining what you could do if you were going to.
So what you're saying is you like pastrami and you hope you go into a delicatessen and you fall in love with the person cutting the pastrami.
That to me could represent a skerrick of spontaneity. There could be some, because there's a meeting. There's like it's sort of like you can pinpoint it in an actual real life meeting. You know what I mean? Like it sort of has that element of chance and romance because it's so contingent on you needing the cabanossi and they have it. No, you know what I mean? It's not
right.
Like in contrast to algorithmic matching.
Well, I think when you see someone in real life and you are attracted to them, there's a whole variety of real life factors and energies and, circumstances that are happening in the real world that add to the reasons why you might want to date that person. But when it's an algorithm in the virtual world, you get these weird couples you never used to see before, like, a South American cleaner dating an AMP financial advisor. You're just like, you two wouldn't have met pre-dating apps.
Yeah, there's no movie when Jose met Sally.
Exactly.
Remember that movie?
Yeah. That's pre-dating app. That's pre-dating app. That's when it was just like Harry and Sally, two people live in the same area. They're the same socioeconomic bracket. They're the same race. It's sort of like they
work
would
in the
end
same
up
office.
Working
They go to the same florist. Yeah.
Whatever it is. But nowadays it's like, yeah, hey, you know how I've been working in banking securities for years? Well, yeah, through a dating app, I met this a wonderful girl from Nepal. And she's a trekker. She's a Sherpa. So,
yeah,
we've got a lot in common.
I work in high finance and she helps my colleagues climb Mount Everest at PricewaterhouseCoopers. But that's just, it's weird.
It just sounds like two people that they've got no idea about dating talk this whole conversation. And the guy's cutting the pastrami and then one girl's
I fucked that analogy up. I fucked that analogy up because that would be an example of a spontaneous meeting.
Right.
Because the executive would be climbing Everest. Do you know what I mean? It should have been a better example that exemplified the more algorithmic nature that there's nothing in common at all.
So you're saying it's possible that someone from PricewaterhouseCoopers could be climbing Everest and fall in love with the Sherpa?
Possibly. Well, they're spending a lot of time climbing a mountain.
Does seem like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely. I could see Liam Neeson in a movie like that. With
Oh God.
I'm an alcoholic and I'm gonna kill someone, but I like this lady, this young thing here.
She's a Sherpa. So, So you're saying you've been rock climbing?
Yeah, I went to one of these indoor rock climbing gymnasiums, and it's just the people that go there. It's a real type of person. One guy has like a neck tattoo of like an organic chemistry compound. You know what I mean? Like he had like the carbons and hydrogens and that on his neck.
I've never heard the demographic of a rock climbing place summed up better than a neck tattoo that's a chemical compound, molecular structure.
Yeah. It's like probably caffeine or something, but it's all scientific, literally organic chemistry on his neck that he's got. It's that type of person, and
Such a
I don't
strange
talk to anyone.
demographic. It's such a strange demographic, isn't it? Because you're getting
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people that are alternate, but they're extremely healthy.
Yeah, it's
So
like if
sometimes,
Dungeons and Dragons
yeah,
meets
go on.
fitness or whatever. Well, it's
Yeah.
like a Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
It's like if an improv troupe were really fit, as opposed to
Yeah,
slobbish,
yeah, yeah.
lazy, like out of shape balls of shit.
Milk a toast. It's yeah, milk a toast. It's like medieval LARPing, but if it was dedicated to fitness. You know that LARPing stuff where it's like, I've told you that your flesh wound is only to be desired, but they're like from Parramatta or something.
What the fuck is
You know, like the
LARPing? What's LARPing?
LARPing's like when you get in like armor and then like fight with like a stick.
Like a
But
medieval
it's like,
reenactment.
yeah.
Right.
So you like,
So
and
you're saying
you go, hello.
it's like that demographic, but if they were really fit.
Yeah.
Because they're,
It's like
yeah.
if those guys, it's like if instead of them eating like a lamb shank going, hello, I bring you the morrow. But instead they're like weightlifting or whatever.
Yeah. And they're eating like some
I,
really precise fucking berry smoothie with a fucking particular vegan protein. But they're the kind of people that'd be
yeah.
like, don't mind me, just a flesh wound. Your turn,
Yeah,
roll the dice if
yeah.
you will. And they're like
Yeah.
fucking ripped with awesome shoulder muscles and a six pack. It is actually, no, it's
I'm,
truly a strange demographic because they're
it's
like
a strange
good
vendor.
looking and fit, but they're the type of people that would join an improv troupe, which just doesn't go together at all.
Yeah, it's a weird. Maybe they got kicked out of the improv troupe, and now they're like basically. I think indoor rock climbing. It's like deadlifting a Sudoku puzzle. You know what I mean? It's like if you could lift a puzzle.
That you're hitting it on the head now. That's a
Yeah,
very interesting point
it's
because it's
like
got an
3-4-7.
intellectual. It's not like when you go to the gym and they're just like the type of people that are just like, "Whoa." If they were a noise, they'd just be like, fucking you know. But like with rock climbing, because it's intellectual, how you have to physically work out how you're going to get up the wall. There's a bit more of I need an offer, I need a suburb, and a type of car, something from the 50s. You know,
Yeah, Alcatraz for one. But yeah, and then because it's weird as well that because they would be they're into trivia nights and all that stuff. But
totally.
yeah, and like,
But they're there
and the
sober
weird,
and enjoying it.
yeah, they're like, I don't drink because it's not good for one. And like, but they both have.
Yeah, for one.
They
One does
both.
not drink. It's not good for one. But I love a good
It's not
rollick.
good for one. I'll have a rollick, but no tipple. But yeah, that the other thing. The weird thing is that they both like neck tattoos. They would have a neck tattoo at a gym as well, but also it would be of like a sword, like a snake, fucking eating a rabbit or something, like at Fitness First or whatever.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's almost like this guy's doing gym lad cosplay by having the organic chemistry like he's trying to act like a gym bro, but he's just fucked it up and got like the symbol for caffeine on his neck in organic molecular structure.
I think, like I said, it's the perfect.
Oh,
Like I think we've joked before. If you mixed worlds, so you take the
yeah.
rough cunt from the train station at the end of the line, way out near Beanley, and you just fucking bring him into a rock climbing center where it's all like fit as a fizzle, but also open to a little bit of poetry, kind of fucking cunts. No security, nothing. And I've said this before, you know, it's the least energy-wise violent, totally calm, and just to let one of those guys loose, just to pay them, go, I want you just to be you at a rock climbing place where people are, what do they call it? Belaying people and having a
Oh,
guy
they're
from Bean
belaying.
Lee, he's drunk on rum, he's got a fucking wide, fat, like flat brim, and he's just walking around
This
going,
is a great
fucking,
idea.
oi, cunt, oi, what are you fucking looking at, you fuckhead? Yeah, you on the wall, up the blue run.
Put your shirt back on. Put your fucking shirt back on, cunt.
Fucking, where's your
Or
wallet,
fucking
cunt?
cut your rope.
No one would be able to confront him if you were like fucking. If you got a hold of the belaying, you know, when you've got the ropes, you're holding, you're dangling them, going fucking, like letting them go a bit. Fucking gonna fall, cunt. Gonna fall, cunt. Gonna fucking fall, aren't you? Yeah, fucking. And they're just fucking.
Yeah, they do that.
And they're just like, no one would be able to. Everyone would be like, excuse me,
Yeah.
may you please. No one would be able to confront him.
That's your idea, isn't it, of putting like late stage reprobates and unleashing them into bourgeois sanctuaries?
Exactly. Yes. Very well
and
put.
Releasing them like dinosaurs that are just gonna kind of like velociraptors just discover new terrains. Like be like, fucking haven't seen this cunt before. Like he'll see the organic chemistry tattoo be triggered because like his science teacher made fun of him for not being able to read.
Right. Yeah. He's going back to
what's that all?
Regressing to bullying, getting bullied.
Yeah, it's actually the only place where, you know, you can bully people and there's just no response. Like you can just push in line and no one.
Can I give you an example?
Excuse me, can you put in?
Could I give you an example of something that happened in real life that you'll love?
Yeah.
The Perth Fringe, because Perth is one of the fucking wildest cities on a Friday or Saturday night for getting cunts that come in from mining who are like, fuck you, fucking looking at cunt kind of people. The worst in Australia I've ever seen. But during the Fringe, there's like, to best, topple cunt, like people on fucking, you know, motorcycles, and there's tents and like dudes on stilts going, buy a raffle for the ticket of doom show kind of shit. And some
People
of the
escaped
tents,
the tendrils of bullying.
some of the tents are in like the worst areas for like rough cunts, street people, people on ice. Seriously, people on
NASCAR.
ice.
They've got NASCAR, don't they? Like
No, V8s.
like
yeah.
Ripsall.
No, that's Adelaide.
Driving?
That's Adelaide.
Oh.
So Perth is even worse. And so one time there was an improv troupe doing a show that's improvised musicals. So they're just top of the fucking cunt fuckhead shit. And they walked backstage and an ice addict was going through their stuff.
Yeah.
In the tent. So it was actually like just come off from singing run, improvising like a
pancake
thing.
Sandwich, squid.
I have a head for a sandwich, and you may take a bite if you will, but you're only a sandwich. And then cut.
You're
and
a
then
purple lizard dragon Squirtle.
Everyone walks backstage and it's like, fucking, which one of you cunts fucking world is this, you fuckhead? Oh my. And they just had they had to capitulate. Yeah. They surrendered.
Yeah, that's the danger of I mean, it's a great idea for a reality show. You just release the guy that's not meant to be in the area for that thing. Like he comes in and intrudes the safe space.
Right. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Because I think there's so many barriers for that happening, mostly like the end, like they just don't know it's a thing yet. But once they do,
it's over. Well, the barriers are security. That's any areas where those people might be, there's generally high levels of security to contain their fucking fuckhead cunt shit. But when they get to bourgeois areas, there's no security because they're not meant to be there. So that's why it's perfect.
I've walked into hotels, you can like get into the pool area just if you just walk in like you should be there kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's just so many bourgeois areas that have no security because they just haven't even encountered like a mad cunt with a Monster Energy drink. Yeah.
Like I said, man, just have 3 mad cunts in like fucking baggy jeans, wide brims with bum bags, selling weed at a rock climbing center. Like, just that's the reality show. It's called Rough Cunt Meets a Latte. Rough Cunt needs a latte. Like farmer needs a wife. Rough Cunt needs a latte. And they get paid to try and deal weed in a rock climbing center where it's like nice music and everyone's fit and they're all like, yeah. And he's like, oi, you fucking wanted $50, fucking 50 bag cunt? You know?
What's this? Jamie XX? Play Skrillex or I'll hammer you in the head with this hammer. Yeah, like there's just mayhem. That'd be a very riveting show.
So I would watch that. So you were at rock climbing and you said to me,
I was climbing and then I was climbing and like I don't talk to anyone there when I'm there, or also anywhere. But yeah, but also there. But yeah, and I like fell off and then I like I fell off the thing and then I tripped on this dog. And that was like just under the thing, like it was under. It was like,
yeah, because it was sleeping or something. It
was sleeping under the mattress bit, like next to the trampoline area bit.
Right.
It was under. Like I kind of like tripped on it a bit and like went like face planted. Like it was crazy. Like I just rolled off, and then the dog kind of went, roo, like, that noise. Like
it got hurt.
Like, roo.
It yelped.
Yeah.
Like that.
It had a yelp. That was the Yelp review. They booed me. Like people were like, boo. Like there was like this just bunch of people who loved this dog so much. And they kind of like, there was just a booing, like a boo.
Wow.
Like
so they publicly just joined in booing you because you stood on the dog and it got hurt.
It got hurt, and then the guy that owned it like picked it up like away from me, like
wow,
because he had like everyone had masks on. He kind of looked like a samurai,
right?
You know what I mean? Like because he was like so angry about the dog. I was like, his eyes had like a revenge fantasy in them, but I knew that he would not go forth with.
Well, because of all the reasons we just stated.
But if that yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Because
it's actually the worst thing you could do right now. Because dogs are right up there now. Like people care more about dogs than children, I reckon. Like
people love dogs.
If there was like like bestiality, there's like pedophilia. How much people hate pedophiles? If there was like a dude running around raping dogs, like a serial dog rapist, I reckon there would be more community outcry.
Yeah.
There'd be more people banding together, searching the streets, trying to find him.
Trying to find the dogs and
trying to find the guy who's fucking raping all the dogs.